never deserve the power you were given. I am Gaul, and your light is mine.
The PC beta for Destiny 2 affirmed so many things for me, namely translating gameplay and performance from a console to my platform of choice. Many people that went to the Destiny 2 reveal event or E3 were able to get their hands on this content, and many of those people that attended said that it ran very well on PC. Until the beta, all I could do is take their word for it, but now I am so glad to say that I played it and the gameplay felt buttery smooth. With my setup of an i7-3770, 16GB of DDR3 RAM, and a GTX 1070, I can see that my frames never strayed from 60 at 1080p. My graphics settings were a little customized, but for the most part I just rolled with what was set by default, and that had most settings on high. From launch to completion of the content available in the beta, I didn't encounter any weird bugs or anything like that. So with the actual performance out of the way, let's talk gameplay. I really liked the way Destiny felt on console. The movement and gunplay just really clicked with me. Controls felt tight and responsive, and the range of movement made me feel really comfortable. I was concerned that it wouldn't translate well over to PC, but I was so glad to be proven wrong. Destiny 2 feels great on PC, and seeing the sequel to the game I used to play for hours on end run at 60 frames is honestly beautiful. The content shown off in the beta is rather short. I got through all of it in 90 minutes, but again, it is only a snapshot of the game. I believe the idea here was for most playtime to come from the players trying out different classes, but since I've played all of those classes in Destiny, I just stuck to my hunter. A lot of the way I see Destiny 2 is through comparisons of the first game. For instance, seeing how strikes now have real boss mechanics along with interesting ways to maneuver around a level was amazing. For those who are unfamiliar, strikes are instances akin to dungeons in World of Warcraft and in most other MMOs. Most of the Destiny grind came from these instances, but they lacked any real thought or skill. A lot of the gameplay boiled down to hiding behind cover and popping out to fire a few of the shots when your shields were full. Despite how boring this sounds, it was actually gameplay I thoroughly enjoyed. However, with the added improvements to the strikes shown off in the beta, it's just so much better. PvE still feels like something I would gladly grind for hours. That's not all that feels different from the first game, as PvP is a whole other beast this time around. Going from 6v6 to 44 is definitely noticeable, and I didn't know how I felt about it at first. But I've gotten used to it, and I accept it. I don't think it's a detraction or an improvement, it's just different. Other noticeable things include abilities feeling like they take too long to recharge, as well as shields. After a small amount of PvP games, I walked away feeling slightly disappointed, and I thought, well, PvE will be my main focus anyway. But then I slept on it. The next morning I hopped back on and I went into the PvP once more. No stats were changed or anything like that, but I found that I had gotten used to the recharge times. Like changing from 6v6, I mentally accepted the changes and now I'm not too sure if it's a detraction. It definitely isn't an improvement, but I don't think I like PvP any less. I just needed more time with it to get used to the changes, and now I'm indifferent. PvE will still be my main focus, but getting used to PvP made it a lot more enjoyable. However, just because I got used to something doesn't mean it was good, so I'm walking away from this mode with pretty mixed feelings. To be honest, mixed is how I feel about quite a few things in Destiny 2. Sure, the performance is great and the PvE was lots of fun, but things like larger FOV yet the screen still feeling pretty cluttered, or lack of noticeable recoil on some weapons just had me walking away very conflicted. I know I'm going to love this game regardless, and that's probably because I was so invested in the first game under worse settings, so everything is an improvement in my eyes. However, for new people hopping in and checking things out, these things have me feeling very conflicted and may be major turnoffs for them. Realizing this has made me feel quite disappointed, because I want everyone to at least enjoy this thing I'm infatuated with, but for some that just won't be the case. If you didn't get to participate in the open beta and are thinking about pre-ordering or buying this game on launch day, know that the making of this video has been influenced by my own personal bias when it comes to the series. I try to be as objective as possible when laying out my first impressions, but when you're talking about something you've invested lots of time in, it's hard to keep yourself in check. To anyone who hasn't played the first Destiny, I wouldn't recommend pre-ordering, and instead I would advise waiting to see how it all pans out. If you played the open beta of Destiny 2 and have some thoughts on it, be sure to drop a comment down below, as I would love to hear other people's take on it. Personally, I can't wait for the full release of this game, and to all of the people hopping over to PC, I can't wait to see you all there on October 25th. For more reviews on video games and hardware alike, as well as first looks, editorials, and build guides, be sure to head over to KBMOD.com.